Good afternoon and welcome to PM Weather. I'm your host, Marc Fulvio. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is a cloudy Tuesday, however, as it is 56 degrees, relative humidity of 65% there, so it's a bit of that like wet, cool air that we've been experiencing the past week to a week and a half or so. That pattern continues today. The wind out of the west at 8 miles per hour. Not much in the way of precipitation going on right now, just a lot of clouds in northern New England here, but we could develop the chance of a rain shower later on today on your commute home, but nothing that's going to really impact it severely. No heavy rainfall or anything like that, maybe just a little bit of a shower for a few minutes or so, and very isolated. But throughout the majority of the United States, we are definitely experiencing some fall-like weather, even in places in the southeast. Dallas 63, Atlanta 59, Miami 73, Jacksonville 65. Definitely seeing some cooler temperatures for those places in the southeast. It's almost as warm in Boston as Atlanta today, which is pretty interesting for mid-October or in general. Actually, the only place that isn't experiencing a departure in temperature in the United States right now is Phoenix, Arizona, in the desert southwest, where it's 85 degrees. But otherwise, we are experiencing some fall-like weather across the entirety of the United States. But for the next 3 days, we'll actually be experiencing a little bit of a warm-up here in Plymouth, back into the 60s, the warmest of which being Thursday at 63 degrees. But Friday, we introduced the chance of some disturbed weather to come back into the area for us. So Friday throughout the day, probably just cloudy, maybe a rain shower here and there. But later on Thursday, we're going to be seeing those chances of rain showers increase throughout the night. Friday and into the day, Saturday, especially Saturday afternoon, we're going to probably be seeing some moderate to heavy rainfall as we likely develop a coastal low here that will enhance that rainfall for us across the entirety of the Northeast. And that will trek through the day, Saturday and into Sunday, where it will finally dissipate throughout the day. Sunday, where we get a little bit of clearing throughout the night, Sunday night into Monday, and we even end off with a little bit of snow for us here in northern New England, northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and Maine. We might end off with some snow showers or some mixed rain and snow showers. Nothing that's probably going to accumulate, maybe an inch for the higher elevations of New Hampshire and Maine, but nothing really much. But I mean, we're talking about a first snowfall here in mid-October, so that is pretty interesting to see. And we will be seeing quite a bit of rainfall statewide, though, at least a half an inch for us here across the state, and about an inch to a half an inch, or an inch to 1.5 inches here in Plymouth, and even greater amounts up in Maine, where you can see as much as 4 inches of rainfall. So definitely this weekend is going to be a soaker out there, so be sure to grab your raincoats for that. And we are still in peak foliage season here. The White Mountains is finally past peak foliage there, so leaves even falling off the trees there in the White Mountains region. Places like Waterville Valley and the southern White Mountains still peak, still definitely some beautiful colors out there. But as you go toward the notches, you're going to definitely be seeing those leaves fall off the trees, and the Great North Woods especially. Here in the Lakes region, we're definitely approaching peak foliage here. In Plymouth, probably not yet. Probably in the next few days, however, going to be seeing those peak colors, okay? And then in the Merrimack River Valley, we're going to be seeing those moderate colors getting toward peak, and the seacoast finally catching up and seeing those moderate colors for us, okay? So the extended forecast here, we're going to be seeing that brief warm-up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, introducing the chance of disturbed weather this weekend, and then behind it we look to cool off and even have our first freeze of the season. All right, so everybody stay dry out there this weekend and enjoy.